Well, there's a saying on Wall Street that the markets will climb the wall of worry. What does that mean? Well, it means that even though the market may perceive that there's a lot of underlying problems that it's facing, such as a government shutdown, they want to see the facts. They want to see the proof of why they should unload or sell their positions. And the fact is that we did it again. On low volume, we climbed that wall of worry a little bit higher to make a brand new all-time high on the SPY, and some other places like Nvidia did extremely well today after looking like it wanted to break down or fade the top. We were saying that we were looking for some market certainty, and we didn't really get it today. What we got was a market that is going to continue to trend higher, but at a very slow pace, suggesting some uncertainty. So we don't have a dominant trending breakout market, but it's definitely proving to take risk to the upside. So we're going to recap some plays that I talked about on Friday and Monday, and we're going to check into the charts and see how healthy they are. And we're going to review my game plan for these plays and what my targets are and what my stop losses are, because remember, on Wall Street, you need a plan. You're going to need a lot of patience and you're going to need discipline. But if you have the three of them, they will indeed equal profit and wealth. Welcome to Wall Street. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for hitting the like and subscribe. On Monday, I told you the markets are very uncertain. Here on Wednesday, the markets have shown that they want to climb, but on low volume. And in addition to that, I did see some stealth selling in the charts. And what is stealth selling? Well, it's when the price action continues to go higher, but momentum is going lower. It's a classic sign of distribution, and it basically is Wall Street selling into slow strength. And so they're taking their time to lock in profits right now. It can be very deceptive in the chart because the price climbs higher, but it does it on lower volume and lower momentum. That is stealth selling, and I am seeing it across the board. Now, there are underdogs that I think we're going to begin to see some rotation into. For example, there are some healthcare stocks that are looking really good right now. Eli Lilly had an incredible day breaking higher, and I think those are going to continue to run. I think we're going to be seeing some rotation, some slow profit taking from big tech still, and some of that money is going to be rolling over into healthcare. I'll cover some new stocks in that sector in my next video. Today, I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page regarding the stocks that I've talked about in my last two videos. One of them is going to be Poet, and I'm going to give you guys the recap of my plan there, as well as Tesla. That one had a really nice day, and I'm going to let you know what I think it's going to do tomorrow. All right, guys, if you want to join the Stocks with Josh community, go to the Stocks with Josh website, which is simply www.stockswithjosh. Check it out. I'll see you over there. We're doing live trading 5 days a week. I'm giving GOAT alerts for options and swing trades 5 days a week, and we are winning. Come check it out. Let's kick things off initially by looking at the Tesla chart. All right, we're looking at weekly candles. Last week when we were under 440, I told you that we would get to 460 and that it was worth taking some risk for Tesla moving into October, and I gave you a singular reason. What was that reason? Well, it was because of these bald candles. What is a bald candle? It's a candle with no wick on the top. The candles that you see over here that were the precursor to a move down, they had a bunch of ugly wicks on them. This one was a capitulation red candle. This one was a doji, and both of them led to a Tesla rollover. And we saw the same thing back here. We had a nice pump up, but we got this doji, which is a candle with a huge tail and wick, and again, it led to rollover. Well, we don't have that right now. We have a bald candle, which means that until we get that rejection moment, Tesla is poised to continue to climb. I also want to talk about Amazon. Now we're getting a doji on a pullback, which actually is still neutral. I mentioned in the video the other day that it was worth taking a little risk on Amazon when it was down here. I would like this to be a stock to buy and profit from in the month of October, but it may not be ready to do that. I mentioned before that we need to get back above 224 for confirmation of that bigger move that Amazon is capable of. And I'm going to say that this doji candle, which is a plus sign candle, which means indecision, it means the bulls and the bears are fighting it out. It's got a small body and it's got an upward wick of upward momentum failure and a downward wick of downward momentum failure. And so unfortunately, Amazon is still on the fence. And I do think that we might attempt for a move back to 226. If we can get above this level, then I believe that 231 comes into focus and then eventually 240. But let me make a very important point about Amazon. I actually think Amazon is in a good spot to go long. I believe that Amazon is going to be between 240 and 260 potentially in 2025, and I believe it's going to be between 250 and 300 potentially in 2026. So the view of the chart can heavily influence how long the plan is. I'm just looking for a little bit of confirmation on Amazon to increase my call position, and on Tesla, we're profiting, we're making money. It confirmed on Friday, it confirmed on Monday, and we made money here today on Wednesday. So we're going to continue to look for Tesla to go higher. We're waiting on Amazon to make its next move. It's not quite clear. But let's talk about a couple small cap plays. I want to challenge everybody to consider, what is your plan? Why are you investing in these? Is this a stock that you have high conviction? What is that conviction based on? Was it the fact that I thought it was bullish? Well, what's my plan? I'm going to try to share some of that with you guys today. Let's start this off by re-examining the bull stock, Weeble Corporation. So all of the big volume nodes down here are buying green nodes. This suggests institutional accumulation. After bull IPO'd at around $26, it had this incredible run up and it pushed all the way to just under $80. And then it's been a seller's party the entire time as this thing flushed all the way back to around $10. It got cut in half. And now we've been slowly building the price back up. And as I pointed out before, we've had a series of higher lows along the way, consistently making them. Now, every red candle on this chart, in my mind, is an opportunity to buy because I have a long-term vision of what Weeble can do. And we've got another significant pattern on the chart, which I've talked about many times, which is a cup and handle. And we've got the neckline there at 1710, and we have been hitting it a number of times. I believe we're going to come up and hit it again. And some people at that point are going to begin to get excited and buy. Well, I've been buying down here between $13 and $15 for a long-term move that I think eventually will get us up to $24. And so for perspective on bull, nothing has changed. This has continuously been a buy for me. And as I've said in the past, I'm afraid to sell it. Now, you got to have your own stop loss plan. Because I've been buying when this was much cheaper, my stop loss is pretty low because I want to continue to accumulate this because I see that it had run up, it capitulated, it got into despair, and it's slowly climbing out of the gutter, and eventually it's going to break out above that $17 mark, and then we're going to have no resistance as we continue to climb. So the bull swing for me is absolutely still on. Now I'm going to go over another small cap that I like just as much, and the message for me, for my game plan, which is long, is that I'm too afraid to sell this one as well, and that's Poet, P-O-E-T. I brought this up last Wednesday when it was around $6, and the price is still around $6. And I've had some funny comments, people absolutely panicking as it came back to right around 530. And I had told them I liked it. And if they were doing their own due diligence, there's a lot to like in this chart. Let's go over that right now. First of all, we're looking at weekly candles, which means this is a pretty far view back on Poet. And I want to point out the confirmation of this ascending channel and what it means. So we've got two touches here on the bottom, and that establishes the bottom half of our channel. We've got one touch up here. We've got a nice double bottom right here. We've got a series of higher lows that's causing the price to peel up. And locally, we have yet again another cup and handle, very similar to the bull chart, with a neckline here right above $7.50. And if we get that, then it would signal a move that could possibly put us back to the top of this channel, which would make this a $16 stock. And I think that in 2025 and potentially 2026, this is going to be a $16 to $20 stock. Now, that's called the plan, but the plan has to include disciplines and patience. The discipline is putting in a stop loss at a level that if it triggers you, that you can walk away and sleep at night and not be upset for having taken the risk position. The part that I'm employing right now in my plan is that I like the overall play, and I'm accumulating this more and more and liking it more on red days and patient on red days, looking forward to that potential move that would run this up to $16. I don't think this is going to happen this week, right? But I like it. That's why I'm talking about it. And in the course of time, we'll hopefully be sharing a celebration of profits on Poet and Bull and Tesla, which we already are, and maybe on Amazon when it eventually reveals which direction it wants to move right now. Those are the plays that are at hand. I've got some other new ones that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss that video. And some folks, let's say when Poet went down 50 cents and they were panicking and they're like, why aren't you talking about Poet? Because I'm following my plan and I'm exercising patience and I'm buying it. So there's your update. Let me know what you guys are doing with these 4 plays. And tomorrow we'll talk about some new stocks. Healthcare doing very well. Eli Lilly ripped over $30 today. And I think there's some good leap opportunity in that sector. And I'll be talking about that tomorrow. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all notification bell so you don't miss that video. Peace and blessings, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. And don't sleep on the Stocks with Josh Discord. We're making money in there every single day. Thank you again. Bye-bye.